Hello, this is our last module on nutrition. And as I said so far, we've explored the impact of nutrition on your diet, but also on how you feel, on the different disease processes, on how it can impact on attention deficit disorders, or cancer, or Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's, or anything that has to do with you. And if you only want to live at your optimal level, if you always want to have energy and feel invigorated, then the food that you eat is important. As I said, you need to have a proper nerve system to be able to do what you need to do with that food. But once you maintain your nerve system and you help to even increase it and get it better every time, but get it in your regular adjustments, then the next step is to make sure that the food that you put into your body actually helps you attain your goals. And so far we've seen that yes, we have building blocks that are part of this nutrition. We've got the sugars, as we said last time, where to find them, how they're used, and why we need them, and how you can use them in moderation. We've looked at the proteins that help to build the muscles, but also the rest of your body, okay? So now what we can look at is basically the fats. And again, you've heard so many things about fats, about, how they're bad for you and you need to cut down the fat and you want to decrease the fat level in your yogurt and everything. And I'm here to tell you that fat is not the enemy. You need fat. Your body needs good fats. So it's really the quality of the fats that you ingest that is important, because your brain is made up of fat. Your nerve system is made up of fat. So you need those good fats to maintain proper function of your body and to maintain the most important organ in your body. And where are those good fats? That's when you can find in good oils, in nuts and seeds and fish and eggs. So you want to have in avocados, okay? You want to eat those olives. You want to have that olive oil in your diet. If you're going to go at high temperature, go for like grapeseed oil, stuff like that. So you really want to have a lot of those good fats. That's where those omega-3s comes in. Okay, and if you don't have enough in your diet, you go and you take a supplement to make sure that you always have proper fat intake into your diet. So that's a very important building block. So now we can look at all the other things that are part of your diet. Okay, like water. You need to have proper water to be healthy. Why? Because half your body weight, okay, you need to consume half your body weight in ounces of water. 80% of the weight of your brain is actually made up of water. Okay, so you need that water because most or almost every reaction in your body actually needs to have some part of that water to exist and to be able to function well. So you want to keep properly hydrated. And often when you get that signal that you're hungry, oftentimes you're not hungry. It's just your stomach telling you that it's empty. And so if you drink a glass of water, it'll fill it up, your stomach will be fine, and you will have that proper hydration. Okay, and so that also brings me to the point that you need to avoid dehydration. And be careful, because the more you're going to consume coffee, tea, alcohol, these are all stuff that are diuretic. So they make the water leach from your body. They make you actually excrete water. So the more you consume of those products, the more you actually need to have a water intake to complement it, okay? So make sure you always have that water. And talking about alcohol, be wary of the alcohol, okay? Because the alcohol, basically, it's a lot of calories. And so if you go for that glass of wine, I mean, calories in a drink, can go from 150 to 300 calories. And it's not because you consume a 200 calorie glass of wine that suddenly you're just not hungry. On the contrary, because alcohol is a depressor, it's actually going to decrease your inhibitions, and you're actually going to find that food a lot better, and you won't care so much about eating too much that evening. And so not only have you consumed extra calories with your alcohol, but you're consuming extra calories with your food because of it anyways. Okay, so just be careful about that alcohol. And I'm not saying, yes, you do have polyphenols in your red wine, which are good antioxidants. But you know what? You can get the same antioxidants in a lot of other foods that don't include the alcohol. Please enjoy the human experience, and you can still go for that glass of water. Yeah, go for a glass of water with your wine. But yes, you can go for that glass of wine. Just be mindful of it, okay? Because it can add those calories pretty fast, let's just say. So what do we want basically? Basically, if we resume things, basically you want everything in moderation, okay? And go for what attracts you most, okay? Because it's not because you have a vegan diet that that's a better diet than a paleo diet or a Mediterranean diet, okay? You need to go for what your body is calling you to do. So anytime you look at something and say, oh, you know what? I think I'd like to try that. Then it may be the little voice in your brain that's saying, you know what? I think that's really appropriate for us. Okay, so go for that one and explore it. And hey, if it doesn't suit you, you can always change it up later. But at least I wanted you to understand the basics so that you can better navigate all those different avenues that are offered to you. So as I said, everything in moderation. Most people have problem with portion control. Portions are way too big. Decrease those portion sizes. You want to include those nuts and those seeds, those good fats. You want to have legumes in your diet to get those proteins and the good fibers that come with them. You want to have a lot of veggies because yes, you think you eat enough veggies. I'm there to tell you, you probably don't. Okay, most people think they do, they don't. So I don't think you could ever have enough veggies. So please eat them galore, go happy. You want to have those onions and that garlic, some fruits, good oil. You want to have that poultry, that chicken, that fish. Okay, so you want to have all those things. And mostly you want to eat clean. What does it mean to eat clean? Yes, that's when all this organic thing comes in because those pesticides and herbicides and those hormones are really wreaking havoc on your body. And a lot of people are getting more and more sensitive to all the toxins in the environment, and what you ingest basically are parts of those toxins, and they keep your system from functioning properly. So ideally, if you can, eat organic. And if you can't, just at least try to get some organic into you, or at least wash your veggies when you get them. Already you'll take some parts of it off, okay? And if we look at the food chain, the higher up you go in the food chain, the more it's going to be concentrated with all the junk that's been put in the diet. So ideally you want to go for the meats that are organic, or your milk and your dairies. If you do consume them, do try to aim for organic. Okay, and look up the Dirty Dozen. Dirty Dozen, it's basically the 12 more contaminated vegetables out there. And they're the ones you really want to aim to get organic if you can. Otherwise, really make sure that you do clean them up before you eat them. Be wary of the food colorings and the additives. Basically, just tell yourself that the more food has been transformed from what it looks like in its natural state to when you consume it, usually the less good it is for you. Okay, because oftentimes it's been denaturated, stuff has been added to it that's not so good. Okay, so you really want to go back to the basics, go back to cooking, go back to making the stuff yourself. And if you can't, at least find places where they make the stuff without adding a lot of junk to it. So I hope it helps you at least better navigate through it all. And for anybody who's interested in learning more, we will have a conference, basically a workshop at the end of the month, March 30th, 7 o'clock at the office. It is there to go a step beyond what we've just presented. Because what we've just presented used to be our nutrition conference. Now we want to go a step beyond. So if you have questions about, your kid has ADD and you wonder what to feed him or her, you've been trying to lose weight for so many years and for some reason either you can't or you haven't and you gained it back, you want to be there, okay? Or if you just want to have more energy and always make sure that you're on the cutting edge of what you could do to get your body to function at its best, then you'll want to be there, okay? Because what I'll do for that conference, I want everybody to chime in as to what they're looking to get when they're coming in, okay? To make sure that we're addressing the questions that you have so that you get the answers that you deserve. Okay, so come in great numbers. The seatings are limited, so you really want to reserve by either writing an email to the office or answering Facebook or just calling in. Okay, so just make sure you do that, and I'll see you then. And until then, I hope it helps you to eat healthy.